here. So the image of fire. Hell on earth used to be a figure of speech. Well, it did used to be a figure of speech. And if you're noticing all the fires that are occurring, I don't need this anymore because I'm out. Let me get it off. Let me get it off. I walked out to the mailbox. I did. It's warm out here. And if you're without air, you know how warm it is. And if you're in the place where the fires are there, you can know. Hello, Apple Bucks, honey. So let's look at this, you all. It's like 90 degrees here. The barometric pressure, you can see where it's located. And we've got the humidity. But that sun is so blazing up there. It's really blazing hot. It'll burn you. It will burn you. It'll cook you. You couldn't lay out in the sun. There's no way. I mean, you could. It wouldn't take you that long to get whatever. But hell on earth. And then I thought about, the scorched earth. And all you have to do is just go to the headlines. If you go to the headlines, you'll see that, Gina, what can we see? You got fires ravage Beauregard in 3 weeks since the burn ban was issued. So you got these news stories already. 18 bodies found in Greek forests as the wildfires ravage north of the country. You got the wildfires outside Athens as hundreds of blazes ravage Greece. And you also have Hawaii. Then you have Hawaii, Kaku, hello. Yeah, look at this. Canary Islands, that's near Greece too. So yeah, let me see this. So, this thing doesn't want to focus. Could please focus? I want you to focus, but it doesn't really want to focus. Wildfires ravaged 6% of the Canary Islands as the crews tackle the blazes. Greece, so Greece is in the news. It reminds me of like what Rome had burnt. Eastern Washington also. 3 fires ravage Eastern Washington 5 days ago. You're under that in Eastern Washington too. Some of the block. I love how that thing does that to me. It just wants to blur me out. The flames are ravaging Rhode Island's Harborside End. There's like fires everywhere. You can just all you have to do, you just keep on flipping through it. Keep on flipping through it because there's all kinds of British Columbia declaring state of emergency as the worst ever wildfires ravage Canada. So the whole world is got fires going on, you all. Let me see this. Maui, Hawaii wildfires, 1,100 people still missing after the deadly wildfires ravage Maui. Governor Inslee issues a state of an emergency as wildfires ravage the state. Fast-moving wildfires, Washington State. You just tuning in. It's all over the place. That's all you see is fires. So what was this thing? Hell on earth. They got the hell on earth. And no, we don't got something like that, but I'm sure something like that could be in control of this hell on earth with all this burning fire and stuff like that. How you all doing, you all? Your dog, oh my gosh, Donna, your dog is throwing up, sleeping a lot. Well, it's going to suck the energy out of everybody. Canada's in a really bad condition, burning so much still. It's very, very sad, even in the southern hemispheres, you all. So if, okay, now let's just think about that. And then you got the big sunspot that people have spoken about. I think James Kaufman said it. When NASA gave you, here's your 1 week warning. Here's your 1 week warning. So can you imagine that? A big Carrington-like event comes from the sunspot and the grid goes down in the extreme heat. It would be a perfect brew. It'd be a perfect brew of hell on earth. Actually, it reminds me of the strategic thing called, let me bring it up. We got it. You all know what I'm going to say. It would sound like this one. Operation Scorched Earth. Why is the scorched earth policy banned? What does it mean to go scorched earth? Is it illegal? Well, who would even want to do an Operation Scorched Earth? And what would that do, you all? They're talking about the Yemeni military. They doing it too. See, it's been banned there. So you just burn up everything? Harming civilians is part of the scorched earth policy has been banned under the Geneva Convention since 1977. Well, that's using weather stuff as a weapon, using their instruments to do that, you all. That's really kind of what it sounds like. And you know that a lot of people have lost their livelihoods as a result. Gina, you got the whatever coming on. Yeah, let me look at this. So why wouldn't it be banned? Come on, let's think about this. Why wouldn't this be banned? Operation Scorched Earth policy. Harming civilians. Well, whoever's doing it, they don't care. As part of a scorched earth policy has been banned under the Geneva Convention since 1977. And historically, civilians have suffered greatly during these military initiatives, sometimes losing their crops or even their homes and their very lives. Is it illegal? Is it illegal? An occupying power. Here's how it reads. An occupying power may not destroy objects located in an occupied territory which are indispensable to the survival of the civilian population. Any scorched earth policy carried out by an occupying power, even when withdrawing from such territory, must not affect the subject such objects. Okay, so they can do it, really, if you think about it, as long as they don't do whatever. That's what it sounds like. As long you must not look this. Here's the thing. You must not affect such objects. You can do it. You can do it. Operation Scorched Earth. Hello there, hummingbird. You're going to try to get in front of your hummingbird food. You got to get out of the way of the hummingbird. Gina, you are, I'm trying to keep my laptop from, yeah, hey. This ain't funny, you all. None of this is funny at all. I mean, it's like you burn up. You burn up. You burn up. You gotta wet yourself with the water hose is what you gotta do. Now, sweating is a good way to detox your body. I can try to turn it, put a good spin on it. I gotta take these shoes off. I can't handle it, y'all. Take off my shoes. That's my head. Take off my shoes. They're coming off. My shoes are coming off. My socks are gonna come off. I just like now I want my feet to breathe. My feet can't breathe. The heat can't escape because my feet are covered up, you all. As you got stink bug got you. What was the thing? Hell on earth used to be a figure of speech. That's what it used to be. But we got some hell on earth occurring and people are being affected. But according to the Geneva Convention, it really sounds like they could do it as long as they did not harm certain things. That's why they banned the asbestos. Okay, Adam, let me see. This is why they banned asbestos, the miracle mineral. Well, they said asbestos was bad for people. You couldn't have asbestos in the flooring and the walls. None of it. Is it bad, or are they just making that up? I had to think about it. So we got the Operation Scorched Earth. We got the fires that are ravaging all across the United States, all across the world, really, and people's, obviously. The Geneva Conference thing is not working. It's not, because they're going to do whatever they want to also. The lead paint, too, it shielded the house. Fifth element. I remember growing up in the housing projects. There was lead in the floor and stuff, and in the military housing, like on Fort Meade, there were old housings, and there was lead paint. You know, we got to get the asbestos flooring up. We got to get the lead paint off the walls. They're bad for you. Bad for you. Um, that breeze feels good. We got a breeze blowing. You can see it's coming from the west. The pet goat too, Muhammad Hassan. I saw the original pet goat while he was sitting there. I won't get into it because you can't talk about it. But hell on earth. We got hell on earth. But then it takes us to Revelation 9. Revelation 9. After the fourth trumpet of judgment sounded in Revelation 8:12, announcement is made in grave significance for the inhabitants of the earth. Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because of the remaining blast of the trumpets of the three angels who are about to sound. So the first trumpet, you all, it's like judgments and stuff, but we know who's causing it. We know who's causing it, you all. It's the evil one, is what it is. The evil one with their demonic hosts on this earth. They could be trying to replicate that, but nonetheless, there is an effect. There's something occurring, and people's livelihoods they're being destroyed. They're totally being destroyed, you all. When this fire, like every green thing burnt up during that. Every single green thing, like a third of the earth. How can you survive in it? You already hit the like button, Angelica, honey thing, Apple Brooks, honey. Lasers and stuff. The spring water is what God intended for us to drink. That's right. Hello there in Utah. So you got a hell on earth. You got places, people's houses burning up, cities, livelihood, businesses, buildings, animals, everything, you name it. You can feel the heat. And they had to bring that big sunspot out into the open. They did. Bring out the sunspot. Tell us this is your 1 week warning. It's your 1 week warning. But there is technology up there. There is. Right up there in the sky that could they could fry the grid system. They could. Let me flip this. Gina, you look too comfortable sitting there. I'm going to get up. I am. I'm going to get up, you all. So it's in Revelation 9:4. It says, all the green grass was burned up in Revelation 9:4. There's a lot of green grass that's burnt up in a lot of areas. There is. All the green grass was burned up. Um, For if they do these things in the green wood, what will be done in the dry? Don't know. All the green grass was dried up. You got hell on earth occurring, you all. There's fires everywhere. There's hell on earth. Is that Iron Maiden has a song called Hell on Earth? Well, I'm sure they're not talking about the fires, but there's like hell is like eternal, or the lake of fire. You got the lake of fire, you got hell, you got this demonic being right there overshadowing everything. How do you prepare for that, really? How do you prepare for hell on earth? You having heavy chemtrails in Bloomington, Indiana. Daryl, honey, is it hot where you're at? Because earlier today, it looked like it wanted to rain, and it just did not happen. It didn't. I'm going to turn that off because I'm not going to listen to hell on earth. And there's many different analogies of hell on earth. You can say it's people getting treated bad and stuff, and but then you have something literally that's like really, really, really hot. Good night, Manuel. You heard the only way to get fluoride out is to still your whatever. Good night. It's always been on Earth, and we're just now seeing it come out. Well, maybe there's a lot of people who don't got their eyes open. Is there the movie The Knowing? Rich the Prophet, honey, the water table is contaminated now from all the chemical spills. It took years to get to this point, and now they're accelerating their plans, you all. Operation Scorched Earth. Angelique, honey, all you love to Gina Apple Brooks, honey, and everybody. Thank you. We love to everybody. You need to love to keep going, you all. We really got to have the love and the frequency to keep going because there's no telling. You got to have the strength on the inside because nothing is promised. Nothing. Nothing. I mean, you can have this. I can say this. I could say that God will give you the strength to endure the love on the inside of you. Be patient, and he that endures till the end. You got to endure. Love always endures. It does. It's not going to say you're going to have a bed of roses. Like, I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. Goodbye to the sunshine. There's got to be a little rain sometimes. So smile for a while and let's be jolly. Life shouldn't be so melancholy. Come along and share the good times while you can. I beg your pardon. Well, we're not living in a rose garden, you all. We're not. We got the heavy earthquakes. When we woke up this morning, there was condensation on the windows. I took the telescope out the other night. I was wanting to get some of the moon, but because it was in the basement and it was cooler in the basement, it was so humid out, I should have had this telescope sitting outside to acclimate to the conditions. It's hell on earth if you're in this heat. Keep your eyes on God and you're praying consistent. You pray without ceasing. And if you can't find the words, just your spirit can speak for you, your heart. Yeah, it's soon they probably do that load sharing stuff again too. You're gonna have brownouts. They cut the power off while CERN is at full power. There's no telling what's going on at CERN now either. There isn't. If y'all just tuning in, yes, life shouldn't. Is that how it goes, Ronald? It sounded good. Life shouldn't be so melancholy. I don't know. It probably doesn't say that. What does it supposed to say? Well, somebody tell me what it's supposed to say. It's not supposed to say. It's not supposed to say melancholy. What is it supposed to say? Oh my gosh, this sounds melancholy. Sounds kind of dreary to me. I guess it is, you all. Maybe I don't like that word melancholy. Oh, it does, Debbie. I, I can't remember what the definition of melancholy means right now. Life shouldn't be so melancholy. Oh my goodness, Bridgetta. Hello, you are Arizona. Oh my gosh, yes. From the hurricane. That's all Hurricane Hillary left. She's kind of greedy with her rain. Don't you think so? Kind of greedy with that rain, that water. Yeah, you got a hell on earth, you all. The fires are raging everywhere. They are. Just think if this house right here would catch on fire, there's no fire hydrant near here anywhere. I'm out in the country. There's no fire hydrant. They would have to have the water that they have on their trucks. And or if they had a big enough holes, I guess they could siphon the water out of the pond and try to do this. That's right, but oh well, right? Just, um, hello there in Australia. Fires are in California. Last week, Indiana had 3 small earthquakes. 4 shocks of a massive one, the New Madrid. When I was little, we lived in the housing authority, and my mother had this dream, and she saw that great big massive earthquake where we were at in like Charlestown, Indiana. Just like saw it. That's all I remember of it. You're in Washington, and the fires are like every summer fire, it's larger and more intense, and no bad smoke, you all. Northeast, if you got a breeze, you know, it's something to be thankful for, you all. Um, when you think about how hot it is, and if all the green stuff gets burned, I was sitting there looking at these plants, and I'm thinking, you know, they're nice and green. Would they dry up? I haven't really seen them dry up before. I've seen like the leaves on the trees, but I don't remember these drying up. I don't. Um, Fresh air is very crucial. Ground's heating up. Yes. Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. He has great plans for all of us. Well, he does have good plans for us, you all. Um, all of the birds are gone. You haven't seen any birds around. It might be too hot, and the bird feeders, you like to watch the birds. They've been in hiding with this heat, and it's kind of like a stagnant like heat too. Um, here's the heat. Here's the thing with the hell on earth. Like even if you turn your like thermostat up and stuff, you may be finding it's not cooling off like it should. Or you get in your hot car and you want to turn that air conditioning on. It's not cooling up, and you got windows and you're hotter with the windows up with the air conditioning on because your car's so hot on the inside. You need to roll down your windows. Roll down your windows, turn on your air um, until it kind of cools off on the inside, because you're just going to suffocate with your windows rolled up. When when your car's been out in that heat and you get in it, think, I'm just going to let this air cool it off. I'm going to keep the windows rolled off. No, you need to roll the windows down, let the air blow. Here's just one thing I thought was really wrong. The older vehicles, they had the window flap thing that you could push out, you know, the little triangle thing. You could literally turn it and the air will blow right on you. Well, that was too free. It was way too free. Can't have you turning that little corner piece on the side of your car door to where you'd have the air blowing in on you. You know that? But I love that. I love the ease of it. It's a natural vent for airflow, and it felt really wonderful. It did. Okay, you got to go. Okay, y'all got to go. We got hell on earth occurring, really. And if you were to ask people who's been affected by all the fires that are occurring, look at those trees, and they've lost everything. They tell you it's like a nightmare, a living nightmare. Um, uh, yeah. Wings, the wings, is that what they're called? Thank you, Carol. The wings, why did they have to omit them? Because it was too free. And there wasn't nothing wrong with it. There's no chance of that going bad. You just open it up. You have the air blowing straight on your body. And you don't have to worry about nothing breaking because it was just the window thing. And just a leather. It was all manual. I thought about if I could do that to my car. Well, I don't need to, but if I could, I would. Yeah, I'm sure they got some kind of aftermarket thing that you could put. Let's talk about this. They probably got an aftermarket thing that you can put on your car door that would, if you, well, then you'd have to roll your window down. Now they know they made the car door so you can't get around it. That's what it is. It's a nightmare, you you don't have, yeah, a lot of people don't have air conditioning, and at that point, you have to acclimate, acclimate to the heat, and some people's body, they can't. You see those movies where it's so hot and they're out in the desert and stuff like that, or out in the middle of nowhere, and you're going primitive. You don't have the modern conveniences and stuff. You don't. So, how many people on here don't have air conditioning either? Because I'm sure there is a lot. And then there's people who have air conditioning, but they don't turn on their air conditioning either. I mean, who can afford the bills? Because if you turn on your air conditioning, you're however that air works. Um, get a small solar fan from Temu. Angelique, what's a small solar fan? You mean it runs on solar electricity? Um, Mohammed, you hate the air conditioner. Yeah. I love you too, Techno Hippie. You have a floor fan, a house built in 75. Yes, you have an air cooler. The air cooler, I've had one in Texas, and it's like a built-in like humidifier thing too. I mean, it's all right. It is, but you are the Texas heat. I remember in the house, it got to around 90, some 90, probably around 98 degrees, and I had just had my daughter. She was a baby and like didn't have money to, the air conditioning thing, that whatever the cooler thing you said, that was broke, and the landlord came out and he couldn't fix it. We ended up getting a window air conditioner and just blocked off one of the rooms so that my daughter couldn't, so she wouldn't suffocate. It's like, yeah, it's hard on the children too. Children, elderly, your pets, because you want to make sure they can stay cool. Um, Behaviors of the police and government in Hawaii is like nothing you have ever encountered. Carol, honey, what's happening? Is something happening there? They're not being very nice. Most fires started from an air conditioner. Um, they they ever encountered a manual car, house only fan. You don't, yeah. Time's flying by. Time is flying by way too fast. Which this video's about, Gina, is about hell on earth. It used to be a figure of speech, but it's so hot, and you got these wildfires. Here's the thing: whether they're naturally occurring or whether they're purposely done, it's having a real world effect on the people. And the consequences are the same, more or less. You're right there in the line of fire, whether it be natural or man-made. You are literally experiencing it. You're living in it. Well, Gina, you sound like that you don't care how it's done. Oh, I do care how it's done, but the effects on the people, that is the main thing. It's affecting their lives. It's taking some of their lives. It's destroying their lives, and it beats you down. It beats you down. You go into a downward spiral when, like, you can't get no help. Nobody's there to help. They won't let no help come to you. Nothing. And then you feel powerless. That's not nice either. And then you have to rely on one another when it comes right down to it. You got to band together and rely on one another. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. And you better stay close to God. You got to pray on the inside. Get that love there. It is sad. It is sad, Traveling James. Um, no, it's not a mistake. There's Sam Vartarka fires. Where's that located? Yeah, they didn't let the people leave the island. Hmm. Well, when they do lockdowns, nobody goes in and nobody goes out either. When they do lockdowns of society and lockdowns in areas, they do martial law and stuff. You don't go into an area unless you have something to identify. Here's what I've told my mother. If we ever got to the point of a lockdown in this country and you couldn't travel to or fro, and you came to a checkpoint and you say, I'm going to go to my home, I've got a home here in Salem, Indiana, because my mother did build onto the side of this log cabin when my dad was still living so we could help take care of him. I gave her a piece of mail. No, I didn't give her a piece of mail. Her mail would come to her with her name and my dad's name, and this was their address on the mail. You want to have an official piece of mail with your name and address of that's where you're going, that's your home right there too. Because just showing your driver's license, they may look at your driver's license, you don't live there. It says you live somewhere else. You can show them that piece of mail. Now this is where I live too. Right here, this is my other home. Right here. You can do that. You might want to, if you are in that situation and you got to get out, you got to get to somewhere, make sure if you had mail going there, you can have that with you so you have something to prove, because that is an official governmental proof of I address, the post office. The license branch accepts that too. It does. You got to have a piece of mail to prove that you got mail coming there. Gina is live now, and you hardly ever get it because I have sometimes. Well, they want to hear that tragedy, hell on earth. So that's probably why they send out a notification, because this is tragic, but it's really important. It is important, you all. Um, December is the 10th month. What is what are you talking about? A certain calendar is what you're talking about. You all, let me tell you something. If you're a woman and you like to wear lots of makeup and it's getting really hot and your makeup is running, your eyeshadow or whatever it is you put on your eyelids and stuff, and it's making you get rid of the makeup. Get used to not having the makeup, because if it's going to be really hot, that's the worst thing you want to have on your face, is because you're going to feel all yucky, you're going to feel all sticky, you're not going to feel so pretty. Your makeup is all messed up and your face feels all caked and just some big mess. You might want to wean yourself off of it. I don't have nothing against makeup, but I was just thinking of that. If I got white sweat running down my face, and if I walk on the treadmill, like when you cry, you have streaks on your face too. Because I think if things really did go bad, for the worst, you didn't have no electricity or nothing, and you were suffocating. I don't know if you want to leave that makeup on your face. I don't. How would you even wash it off if you didn't have no water or whatever it is you take it off with? Um, uh, yeah. You do the brows and the lashes and the glasses. Yeah. I know when I used to have really long hair. It was brown, wavy hair. It was down like to the middle of my back. And then when I got diagnosed with that breast cancer, and they did the surgery and they were talking about the treatment, the chemo and stuff, they did the European blend. They said it's going to make your hair fall out. So first I had my hair cut short. Since I was going to lose my hair, I had it cut short. And then I told my daughter, after I went to the first treatment, I said, just take the razor and just shave my head, because it was going to make my hair fall out anyhow. And she did. She shaved my head. And then, then I did. It still had no hair on my head. It didn't have no eyebrows. And I saw my eyelashes getting ready. I thought, now I'm going to lose my eyelashes. There were like in parts of my eyelids, some of my eyelashes. I think I lost a few eyelashes, but my eyebrows and stuff. When you lose your hair like that, it's just a shadow. It's like death. It's like you're going through some type of a death. The old you is like gone. But then the hair started, after the treatment was done, the hair started coming back on. But the hair, it started coming on with that chemo, like on really thick on the side of my face. And then it slowly came on my head and came back. It was kind of curly, like grayish and black and stuff, but still. So I just keep my hair short after that. Now, you may get to the point where you get older, you're going to have your hair cut short too, because you may not be able to mess with it. And if you got long hair and it gets hot, you're going to put your hair up like that. I would put my hair up. But still, Gina, how did you get that on that? I'm talking about the makeup right there. When it gets hot, it's going to run down your face and stuff like that. We got hell on earth. We do. Ah, yeah. You stopped wearing makeup 17 years. Your skin is so much better without it. You got blue paint? Um, it was, okay, we got it. We got it, you all. All right. So, where were we? You shaved your hair off and your eyelashes are just growing back. You love your new hair and it's been over a year. And my mother, when I lost my hair, my mother was going to shave her head too because she didn't like me losing my hair. And I told her, Mom, don't do that. You don't need to do it. It's okay. Because I could wear a scarf on my head, and that's what I did. I just wore a scarf, but she wanted to shave her head too. Which is, yeah, it's okay. Survived. Never gave up. It made me stronger. You're going to get stronger no matter what you go through in life, you all. The key is to not lose faith. Do not lose the hope within you. Don't let what's happening to you beat you down and keep you down. Don't let it do it. You got to go stronger through what it is that you go through. You want to just continue to grow. You don't want to go like down here, say this bad thing happened and then you're stuck. You're stuck. No, you got to rise up. You got to rise up from the ashes is what you got to do. And in some instances, when your house is sitting there like that, there's nothing left. There's nothing. And you literally, if you've never been there and done that, you don't know what the people are going through unless you walked in their shoes. It's really hard to even. It's like you're desolate, left desolate, with nothing except the clothes on your back and each other. But then at least you got each other. Better than being alone, really. Blue roots, blue cars, blue. Let's read about this. We're talking about the color blue, Traveling James. The blue roofs, the blue homes, the blue cars, nothing blue burned in Maui. It might be helpful to buy some blue paint. Yeah. Love you too. It's all good. Yeah. Yeah, my mother is wonderful. She was there for me the whole time. Her and my daughter. Yep. Which is great. Oh, the UN is blue too. Blue makes me think of the bloods that were in Kentucky. They had blue in their veins. Yeah. Blue skin. Blue skin. Gina, okay, you're talking about hell on earth, and now you're talking, well, I looked at the comments you all. I did. Let me flip this around. It's 90 degrees out here. At least there's a breeze. And there's lots of people who don't have air conditioning. And So, you know, if you have a fan, at least you can, like, maybe at times, you can turn the fan backwards and suck out the hot air and, like, cover up all the windows and try to keep it out. You can. At least you got shade. I'm sitting there. If I didn't have this roof on this porch, it's going to be hard for me to sit in the sun. You can walk around with an umbrella. That breeze feels really nice. It does. Your hair has blue tips. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Why did they make that book? Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Why would they even make a book like that? Uh, get in the sun and take in its energy. I get out in the sun, but I don't stay in it very know that when I was, you all, I'm going to tell you something. Years back, not too many years back, but years back, when I worked my second shift job, I had to go in it in the late afternoon, and I wouldn't get in home until night. And I would lay out in the sun. I would lay out in the sun. That's before we had neighbors. Put my blanket there. I'd lay out in my bikini and stuff for probably around, I don't know, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes just to absorb the sunlight. I would do it. I said, this is great. I can just lay out here until I was looking up in the sky. So this had to be around 2018. I think this is around that time of 2018. I seen those cubes fly out of the clouds. I was sitting there watching them one day with my binoculars and my cell phone, and that's what they were doing. I saw them flying out of the clouds and flying back. I thought they're playing hide and seek. And it was that point I thought, well, they're watching me. They're watching me up there laying out in my yard. So I quit doing it. I thought I'm not going to do it because they're watching me. Gina, that's so silly. Well, that's when I stopped. But I'm not going to lay out here and just get, there's too much. You know, the sun is way too hot now. Just, that's since 2018, it's way too hot. All for one and one for all. Or one for, yeah. The new blue light is coming from out of our devices, yeah. They won't allow the videos on Maui out because they don't want us to see the devastation. I'm glad the wind chimes are coming in clear. I really am. The frequency is nice. These right here are tangled up in the bushes. Okay, I'm hitting my 40 some odd minute mark. I probably better be going you up, but some people are already going through hell on earth. And with all the fires that are occurring around the world and the homes being lost and the animals and the people's lives, their livelihood, the crops, the food, the restaurants, the businesses, plant life, tree life, burnt up. And the birds don't have nowhere to go because they burnt the trees up too. No nest for the birds. No escape for the wildlife. At times you can't get out because the way is like blocked by wildfires. And they're also caught in the crosshair. And it reminds me of scorched earth. The scorched earth plan that the militaries around the world use, even though they signed an agreement in 1977 at the Geneva Convention, you know that they did not totally adhere to it. They didn't. So it's no telling what's going on. Although we know what's going on, it's devastation, devastation. So I'm going to go. I am. And gracious Heavenly Father, may you please be with everyone who is affected by these wildfires and their families, their friends, everyone who has loved ones and family who like in Maui and other parts of the world where the fires are raging and they're ravaging. It's destroying the homes, it's destroying the lives of people and leaving them kind of desolate and hopeless. I pray may you be the hope that they receive. I pray that they turn to you for their strength and their courage to keep going. I pray that you cover them with your love. Just cover them, hold them in your arms of love, and just keep them safe, and just be with them and their families, and be with all of us, Lord, as we pray for those people who have lost everything and don't know which way they're going to go. Just may you lead and guide them and keep your hand over them, Lord, and just keep them safe and protect them. And protect us too, because it could happen to us also. In your precious Son's name, Jesus, amen. Amen. Prayer makes a difference, you all. You may not believe in prayer. I believe in prayer. I believe in the power of prayer. I do. When it comes from your heart right there, I would much rather have somebody pray for me. I would, because there's something going to happen in the spiritual realm when the prayer goes out. Something's going to be happening because it's going to be heard, and the spiritual realm can do what we can't do. It can. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world, hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, you all. Just be aware of what's happening and prepare. You want to grow on the inside of here, you do. Thank you, moderators, and thank you all for your comments. And please, if you watch this as a repeat, put your comments below too, so people have comments to read it. People like to read the comments. I like to go through them too and read them. Love you.